Hey, you just caught me in the middle of editing another Great Racer Cinema Productions video. Oh man, sure is cold out there, isn't it? Man, I never knew that Royal Woods had an Alpine resort. Yeah, I thought that no place in Michigan has Alpine skiing resorts, but apparently I was wrong, and apparently there was a blizzard that happened. I guess there's no way out of this. I was even lucky that I even went there to begin with. Yeah, my cottage is back there. The room in the cottage, I mean. So yeah, it's December already, and you know what that means? It's time to review yet again another Christmas, or this time, a winter-themed video game. Hooray! Well, something about this cottage or a lodge seems rather familiar. Oh yeah, it looks exactly like my bedroom. Yeah, I don't know who was responsible for the architecture of this lodge or cottage or whatever you want to call it, but they did a pretty good job replicating my own bedroom. Yeah, pretty good job. Except, well, the shelf doesn't have any Loud House merch on it. They probably couldn't afford any of that. Alright. Let's get this hat off and get into our festive gear. Here we go. Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas, everyone! Because today is this year's Otaku Bandito Christmas special! And today, we're going to be taking a look at something different. Yeah, not a Christmas-themed game this time, but a winter-themed game. Yeah, because, well, the Olympics, well, next year's Olympics is going to be coming on, and what better time to review a Olympic-themed video game than this time. Yeah, I'm really excited about 2022, well, the Winter Olympics of 2022, and seems that the athletes trained hard for this one. So yeah, since the Winter Olympics is coming up on the horizon, what better time than to take a look at the very last Olympic-themed video game that ATD themselves have made. Salt Lake 2002. Oh, and by the way, next year is going to be like well, January of next year is going to be like the 20th anniversary of Salt Lake. Happy birthday, Salt Lake 2002. Alright, so this game is, well, it was the sequel to the 2000 Olympics game that was released on the PlayStation. Yeah. Even though it was released in 2000, it was released on the first generation PlayStation, and by then, the PlayStation 2 was already going to come out, so might as well kick the PlayStation's bucket while nothing is left of it. But Salt Lake 2002 is, well, it's on the next gen, while the next gen at the time, PlayStation 2. And of course, even though this is a PS2, it still happens to use the compact disc format. Yeah, I assume that this is a move done because, well, ATD's probably almost gonna go bankrupt a year later. Yeah, just seems a way to cheapen things. Because the PlayStation 2 was known for using DVDs. Alright, so this game has 6 events. Yeah, we're going to be taking a look at 3 of them in this part. Alright, the 6 events are men's snowboarding, women's freestyle skiing aerials, try saying that 3 times fast, men's 2-man bobsleigh, ladies Alpine skiing slalom. Yeah, I hope it doesn't suck like the Gran Turismo slalom. You know, those infamous slalom license tests in the Gran Turismo games that nobody likes. Men's skiing K120 individual. Yeah, that definitely does sound like a computer. But I assume that's the measurement for how high they're going to jump. And men's alpine skiing downhill. Yeah, there's 6 events on there. It's not much. But it would be a pretty decent game. It's made by the same company that made, like, all of the LEGO Racers games. Well, what I mean by all of them is LEGO Racers 2, and Drum Racers. Yeah. Unfortunately, hockey and figure skating are nowhere to be seen. Yeah, it's such a shame, because figure skating is like a pretty good sport. Well, I don't have a pic of Lori Loud in a figure skating outfit on me, because I haven't done commissioned it yet. But picture it in your mind. She will look pretty good in a figure skating outfit. Alright, so inside the game you get, well, the PlayStation 2 case, the manual, which, even though I got this game for cheap, it still came with the manual, and so let's see what it is. It's basically just in black and white. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Not one of the most impressive menus in the world. It basically tells you how to play the games and all that jazz. And of course we got a memory card holder, which they phased it out in several later PS2 releases, and the disc, which of course is one of those PlayStation 2 blue discs. Yeah, kind of ironic since, well, PlayStation 1 CDs were black. Yeah. And of course, the cover of the game says, Official Olympic Video Game. Yeah, and you think that because this is the Olympics, the most prestigious sport in the world, that, well, the game would be more valuable than most sports games. But surprisingly, it isn't. Although it's not surprising for some Olympics games like Torino 2006, which is a pretty crappy game. If you want to know how bad that game is, go ahead and see a Vectrex for Life's video on it. Yeah, just type in Vectrex, the number 4, and Life. That's VECTREX F4, the number 4, and LIFE. Yeah, that's how you spell it. VECTREX, number 4, LIFE. Okay? You got that? Good. Yeah. And then type in Torino 2006 and you'll get the idea. Alright, so apparently this game bombed. It didn't sell very well. So, the question here is this game... Well, did this game bomb because it was pretty bad and was an example of horrid game design? Or was it actually a pretty decent game that did well and was an underrated gem? Well, it's time to find out once we take a look at the game itself. And of course, we're going to be doing this within 2 days. Yeah, the 2 days we're going to be looking at the other 3 events. Why? 'Cause I can. That's why. Alright. Let's go. Alright, grab your ski poles. Put on your Olympic jumpsuits. Put on your helmets. Put on your winter boots, your goggles, and let's start this journey through the Olympic downhill skiing slope. Well, the Olympic Alpine downhill skiing slope through this game. Alright, let's enter in our name. Yeah, the name entry screen, you can actually enter in more than 4 letters. Unlike winter games, where you can only enter 4. Oh, and that OK button, that looks sus. It looks like it was ripped straight from Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. Alright, now that we've entered our name and, well, enabled autosave, and yes, this game has autosave, even though it was a game made in 2002. It still has an autosave feature, which is interesting. Anyways, let's look at the first event. Alright, the first event is the first of many skiing events in this game. Alpine skiing downhill. Alright, let's go. There's your Olympic intro, pretty much standard for any Olympic video game. Alright, the first and most important thing you have to do in this event is, well, you have to make sure you start right before the circles turn gray. Because if you don't, well, that's a false start. Alright, so after we skip the intro, we're pretty much skiing along, and the controls are pretty simple. X has you crouching, and square has you making sharp turns, and of course, the triangle button lets you change views like a racing game. Yeah, they think the skiers are race cars. And of course, the goal here is simple, to get the best time. That's all I have to say for it. Except this one, well, this event is pretty challenging, and the first person view is kind of pretty cool. It's kind of like a virtual reality. Kind of like you're seeing into a Olympic athlete's goggles, which is a pretty cool effect.
And
yeah,
he's got a lot
I
to
was
make
never
up if he's
able
going
to
to
make
take
a
the
gold
lead.
medal with this event. Not on, well, at least not on the first try. Oh, dang! Just slow down there. Alright, not much to say here, so let's move on. Next event is Ski Jumping K120 Individual. Yeah, it's a ski jumping event. Well, there it is again, your typical Olympic intro with your typical Olympic commentary. Alright, so just like the skiing event, you have to press start to start the event. And the objective here is simple. Simply press the X button when you want to jump and make sure you time your landing perfectly. Once you press the X button, you get to land pretty well and, well, you get to time your jump and control the angle of the jump itself. If you do it correctly, you get a gold medal. And again, I was never able to get a gold medal on the first try.
Well, he's not happy with that showing, as you can see.
This Olympic video game is kind of like, well, an Olympic video game. It's what an Olympic video game should be.
Let's see that jump again in more detail.
It's challenging. It requires determination and skill, just like a real-life Olympic athlete. Alright, not much else to say here, so let's just move on. This event is literally short. It goes on for a few seconds. So yeah, I don't know why they include it, other than the fact that it's in the Olympics. So yeah, let's just move on. Third and final event for the day. Snowboard Parallel GS. Yeah, if you're expecting something like Cool Borders, well, you're gonna be disappointed. But let's begin.
Hello and welcome to
Let's
today's coverage
rip and
of the
shred
men's
for the
Olympic
snowy
snowboarding.
mountains of Utah, dudes.
For this race, the Canadian
All
will be on the
right.
course.
Yeah, I was expecting this
And the
event to be
rider on the
cool,
blue
but
course is
unfortunately,
slow out of the starting gate.
it's not. It's a frigging slalom event. And you know how much I hate those freaking slalom license tests from Gran Turismo. Well,
And
the entire
rider on the
Gran
blue course
Turismo
lagging
series.
behind after the opening section.
It takes the concept of snowboarding and somehow makes it boring. This might be one of the weaker events in the game selection of
And a
limited
clear
events.
win by the rider in the
Well,
red
it's
lane.
pretty hard. I was never able to beat any opponents. I went up against a friggin' Italian snowboarder and a Swiss snowboarder, and I'm going up against an Austrian snowboarder. Yeah. I'm going up against friggin' Mr. Freeze, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Allow me to break the ice. Actually, it said like this. Allow me to break the ice. Yeah, it's from one of the most infamous movies of all time, Batman and Robin. Yeah, I'm afraid that's it for today. We glossed over these events pretty quickly. And I actually took more time playing this trip than taking a look at these events, so see you all tomorrow. Oh, and here's some footage of a Olympic athlete falling down on a steep slope while doing the jump. Peace!
Well, he's not happy with that showing, as you can see.